Well, the ABC's Matt Brown is at Tullamarine Airport for the Storm's victorious return to Melbourne. Matt, their arrival's a little way off yet, but we have seen them preparing to leave Sydney.
Yeah, celebrations have been put on hold here for a couple of hours, Lisa, because their flight has been delayed. The Premiers are stuck at Sydney Airport, where they arrived a short time ago, and I guess it is a chance for those few Melbourne Storm fans in Sydney to spend a little bit more time with their Premiership heroes. But look, the party's been going all night, and I'm sure they'll find some way, or should I say somewhere, at Sydney Airport to continue those celebrations. Once they arrive in Melbourne, they'll be whisked off to a fan day here at Princes Park, their Melbourne training base, and I'm sure the Storm fans there won't mind them being a little bit late, because a Premiership Cup's a pretty good way to say sorry for being delayed.
But does the win mean much in a state so dominated by AFL?
Look, I have to say it's been treated a little bit quietly. There are only 500 fans who turned up at Federation Square in the Melbourne CBD last night to watch the game on the big screen. But in their defence, it was a pretty horrible Melbourne night, cold, wet and windy. But it is great for Victorian sports fans, because it does mean that the NRL, the AFL and also the Soccer A-League Championship trophies are all housed here safely in Melbourne. If only the Australian Rugby Union had found a way to give us a Super 14 franchise, who knows what we'd be celebrating this week.
Do you think that it'll change the amount of coverage that the NRL and the Storm get in Victoria?
I'm not so sure it will. Of course, the Storm have won another premiership back in 1999. They were a fantastic minor premier last year and had dominated the competition, but still they did struggle to get much media coverage here in Melbourne. And I think you'd still find, even though they're now premiership players, stars of the game like Greg Inglis and Billy Slater would still walk down Melbourne streets and probably not get bothered too much. It just seems to be a bit of a niche sport here at the moment in Melbourne.
What about the AFL? Have Geelong fans finally realised how momentous a victory it was?
I think they'll be waking up with hangovers in Geelong today that let them know that they celebrated something pretty big over the weekend. There were 30,000 people at Cardinia Park to greet their Premiership heroes yesterday. Scenes like I have never seen here in Victoria. But of course, all Victorians were on board with Geelong, because it's the first Victorian side to win a premiership since the Essendon Bombers in 2000. So it's been a long time coming, and the celebrations aren't over yet, because the players will be paraded through Geelong city streets on Wednesday, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of Cats fans there to cheer them on then too.
Matt Brown, thanks. Telstra isn't backing away from